Hi everyone at Flinders Christian Community College in the Carrum Downs Campus. My name's Adam Voigt, and this video is a brief introduction to parents out there to come along to a parent information session on June the 3rd at 7 p.m. down at the school about something that we think is incredibly important. I run an organisation called Real Schools, and we build partnerships with schools all over Australia to help them build high-performing cultures. And we have such a partnership over 2 years with Flinders Christian Community College, and it's to implement something called Restorative Practices. The question that I get asked in a lot of places around Australian schools is how do parents and schools genuinely get on the same page? And as I mentioned, that theme of restorative practices, for me, as someone who's been a school principal myself, has been the fundamental thing that I've used to be able to get everyone on the same page about the things that are truly important in a school. So I really want to unpack for you what I believe, and I hope this might resonate with you a little too, about what are those things that are most important for a school, and what are those things that stress families about when you let your kids go in the morning at 8:30 or so in the morning. What are those things that stress you, and what are those things that worry you, and what are those hopes and ambitions that you have for the type of experience that your kids will have inside the school gates? For me, what does Restorative Practices do? It helps kids build and sustain better relationships, teaches them how to resolve conflict so that their friendships or relationships don't need to end as soon as there's a problem or a difference of opinion or a disagreement or even an argument. It helps out your school reduce and, if we can possibly, culturally eliminate bullying. It certainly fundamentally contributes to better student behaviours in the school. And what we get as a result is these high-performing and stronger classrooms. When we get that happening collectively, we get a really fantastic, strong learning community across your school. And I think when we get those types of pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together, what we're doing is contributing to the two big reasons that schools exist. So for me, schools exist because they need to be houses of learning. They need to be where great learning happens and where your kids learn at a rate that is accelerated compared to what they might be if they were not in your school environment. The other thing I think is that schools are built for is that thing that I think that we're in really strong partnership around, and that's the notion that we're about building fantastic citizens for tomorrow's communities. So we want your kids to go out into the world and not only be successful but also contribute something to the community. And that's what your school's trying to do. And they want to get on the same page with you about building those fantastic citizens, and that's why they've entered into this partnership. And I'm just so excited to be able to work with them, not only training the teachers, which I've done now already for our first training session, but I'm going to be working with your children in class on June the 3rd. And then I really would love it if that evening you'd come along at 7 p.m. and have a really good chat, find out what this Restorative Practices is all about, find out what it can do, find out how you can complement it at home. And it's that complementing at home that makes such a difference. When I get around Australian schools, what they tell me is that, there's only so much we can do considering what's happening at home. And what it tells me is that we just haven't really worked on what that same page is. So your school's determined that not only will they write that page, but they're going to write it with you. And so the evening will be fun, it'll be entertaining, it'll be engaging, it'll be a bit of a laugh, but it'll also be really informative, it'll also be really important, and your input will also be required on the night. So it'll be about 60 minutes or so of me giving you a really good idea of what this Restorative Practices stuff is all about and what your school is looking to do with it. But there'll also be opportunity then for you to not only ask questions, but to have your say. Tell us what you think, tell us what we need to keep in mind as we move forward so that we can make sure that this is a really successful partnership and has a massive impact on the way that not only your young people are developing, but the way they're performing at school too. So I cannot implore you more strongly. It's June the 3rd, it's at 7 p.m. down at the school. We need you there. This cannot be done alone. This cannot be done by the school. This cannot be done just by you. We have to come together around this. And if you'll come along at 7 p.m, we promise to make it a fantastic night for you. We promise that this could really be the start of something big for Flinders Christian Community College in Carrum Downs. I look forward to seeing you on the night.